Good morning and welcome to today's lesson. Today is May 12th, 2020. The expectations are always the same. Make sure you're watching the video carefully. Make sure you take notes while you're watching the video. You can watch the video as many times as needed. Make sure to complete all assignments and check any additional resources that I attached with the lesson. And once you receive the email, make sure you review the feedback and you can redo the assignments again if you want to earn higher score. For the warm-up, you were asked if you're a clothing company, how do you decide how many blue jeans you will make for each size? Now, in order to manufacture jeans or any product for that matter, the quantity needed for each size depends on what retailers have ordered. So it does not make economic sense to manufacture an equal number of jeans in all sizes from 24 to 44 inches, because a lot of people might be in the middle. There's very small amount of people who are extremely skinny, or there are a lot maybe less plus size people. So it does not make sense to produce everything under the same amount. So usually a company would just predict the number based on the data from past orders, and the production can be tailored and to meet the demand, and also there will be less waste that way. So in statistics that we are touching on in this last unit, finding a value for a typical order is called finding a measure of central tendency. It is an important part of any production process from art prints to smartphones. Today we're just going to recall prior knowledge before starting this new chapter, which I find very helpful. We're going to use it in real life, no matter what type of work you are entering into. The first skill is to divide decimals by a whole number. So the first one is to find the value of 29.1 divided by 6. So you can set up your long division, 29.1. So this is your dividend, and you're dividing it by your divisor, which is 6. You are either going to ask yourself how many times can 6 go into 29, or what times 6 get me closest to 29 but not more. So 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 5 is 30, so that's more than 29. So you're going to stick with 4. You can also write down dead monkeys smell bad so that you know what steps you're going through right now. So I just divide 29 by 6 and I get 4. So I divide. Then the next step is to multiply. I multiply 6 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Then I will go through the next step, which is to subtract. 9 subtracted by 4 is 5. 2 subtracted by 2 is nothing. And then the last step is to bring down. And since 1 is behind a decimal point, I'm going to have to put a decimal place up here. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps over, starting from the division. So 51 divided by 6. How many times can 6 go into 51? 6 times 8 would give me 48. So I would say that's the closest to 51 I can get without going over. 8 times 6 is 48. Now I multiply. This is the second time. And then I will subtract. 51 subtracted by 51 subtracted by 48 is 3. Then I'm going to keep bringing down because there's a remainder. In order to bring down, to always add, you can add as many 0 behind a decimal place as many times as needed, because the value of the number will not change. So I'm bringing down 0. And then I'm going to repeat the steps again. Divide 30 divided by 6 is 5. Because 5 times 6 is 30. There is no remainder. So I'm done. 29.1 divided by 6 equals to 4 and 85 hundredths, or 4.85. If you're still confused, you may start the video over, but if you're ready, we're going to move on. You're going to complete these 2 questions by yourself. Try not to use the calculator if you can, and I will see you in a moment.